Hey, welcome to Anime 101, where I inform you about an anime and hopes to encourage you to watch it. We'll be talking about the basic plot, characters, and fun facts about it. This episode is RWBY. It was made by Rooster Teeth, a company most well known for their infamous web series Red vs. Blue. The story takes place in the world of Remnant, which is filled with supernatural forces and shadowy creatures known as Grimm. Prior to the events of the series, mankind waged a battle of survival against the Grimm, before discovering the power of a mysterious element called dust, allowing them to fight back against these monsters. In the present day, dust is used to power magical abilities and weapons. Those who can use these abilities to battle the Grimm are known as huntsmen and huntresses. The series focuses on 4 girls, each with their own unique weapons and powers. Together they form a team at Beacon Academy in the city of Vale, where they are trained to become huntresses. Ruby Rose is the leader of Team RWBY and a self-proclaimed dork when it comes to weapons. But despite this, she's quite intelligent, having designed and built her very own weapon, Crescent Rose, during her time at Signal Academy, which is a place that is designed to train warriors, although Ruby does admit to going a little bit overboard with the weapon's design. Ruby also has a strong sense of moral justice, a trait that she obtained from stories about heroes and monsters that her sister used to read for her as a child. These stories are what gave her the ideals that she wished to live by and uphold throughout her life. She also doesn't like to be the center of attention, and becoming a huntress has effectively put her into the spotlight. In addition to her dislike of attention, Ruby prefers to either be alone or with her sister Yang. It's not that she lacks social skills, her problem is meeting new people. This is mostly because of her childish nature and lack of social grace, as she can be badly mannered and sometimes speaks without thinking. However, because of her enthusiastic personality, she can become very good friends with people who share her enthusiasm. As far as her skills on the battlefield, she is highly skilled, but seems to be reckless and impulsive, attacking on sight instead of thinking a situation through beforehand. This can obviously not mix well when she's with teammates who do like to think a situation through. Despite this, Ruby's leadership skills make her a worthy teammate. While she still may occasionally act without thinking, sometimes she seems to understand a situation better than others. But just like a good leader should be, she cares for her team and their well-being. She often works to change herself just to please a problem that her teammates weren't happy with. The second member of Team RWBY is Weiss Schnee, the heiress to the Schnee Dust Company. Everything in her life has been decided for her, and it's because of this that she can be a bit of a rebel. It even manages to manifest itself to a certain point in her physical appearance as she wears her ponytail to the side of her head, disrupting the symmetry of the rest of her outfit. Despite her rebelliousness, she does not seem to be hostile to her family nor the Schnee Dust Company. However, Weiss talks little of her family, nor does she ever bring up the subject, keeping such part of her life hidden. It is likely that Weiss felt very lonely throughout her life. Her initially cold attitude toward RWBY and anyone else she doesn't consider a close friend may be a sign that she's very unused to the concept of a true friend due to her difficult childhood. Weiss remains calm and collected during an encounter and mentally coaches herself. She's thoughtful and fights with precision and coordination. She's analytical and tactical when it comes to battle, waiting for the right moment to strike and retreating when the circumstances are not favorable. She's quite the opposite compared to RWBY when in battle. The next member of the team is Blake Belladonna. She has a cool, reserved, and serious personality most of the time, but don't let this fool you, she does have a very humorous side. She's also shown to be an introvert, as she prefers to be alone rather than socialize. Even in a group, Blake usually stays to the shadows, excluding herself from conversations. She tends to show no interest in the discussion at hand, especially when she's engrossed in her books that she's extremely fond of, as she brings a large collection of books with her to Beacon and reads them quite frequently. Blake seems concerned about people learning that she is a faunus, attempting to hide her faunus traits and running away from them when she accidentally lets the truth slip out sometimes. However, she still insists on defending the faunus whenever someone mistreats or speaks ill of them, regardless of them being a member of the White Fang or not. Despite her being a former member of the White Fang, Blake strongly disagrees with the level of violence and hatred that they exhibit towards humans, seeing the group as just heavily misguided. Due to her faunus heritage, she is a realistic person who has seen how the real world works, relatively speaking, which also contributes to her stance as a skeptic on the possibility of attaining a righteous world. Because of her semblance being the power exhibited from oneself, Blake adds that it leaves a copy of herself, which reflects on how she's always running from everything, like when she told her team that she was a faunus, and after her oldest partner became a monster, she ran. She also describes her semblance as also leaving a shadow of herself, something that takes the hit for her instead of herself. Even though she's the quieter of her team, Blake is seen to only do stuff with her team and has a great amount of trust in them, confiding with them several secrets such as her past, that being her previous affiliation with the White Fang, as the same goes for Sun, who's only the other character who knows of this. The final member of Team RWBY is Yang Xiaolong. She's the kind of person that would teach someone to swim by pushing them into the water. This speaks volumes about how Yang approaches most things in life, being very straightforward and confident. She is arguably the most flippant and carefree member of her team, frequently making sarcastic jokes and comments even in the heat of battle, and often taking combat situations and hostile situations extremely lightly, particularly when she's faced with foes she knows she can beat easily and who don't pose a threat to her. It's showcasing her confidence in herself and her ability, possibly due to the fact that she has such a powerful semblance. However, she does take combat very seriously when she deems her opponent a threat or she herself is sufficiently angered. Yang can be extremely nurturing, particularly toward her younger sister Ruby, despite the fact that she left her to go spend some time with some friends upon arriving at Beacon. Yang pushes Ruby into talking with other people and encourages her when she feels down about not knowing anyone in the school. This shows that she has a high amount of faith in her sister and believes that she could do anything, but all she needs is a little push. Or a big push. Despite her fun-loving demeanor and young age, Yang is deceptively mature, insightful, worldly wise, and capable of holding a serious discussion at length and offering insightful, thoughtful advice. This is shown at a time when she speaks to Blake about her worrying behavior and draws comparisons to her own past, convincing her that letting a goal consume you was not the right path to go down. She's also very driven and persistent, particularly when she wants to know something. Over 10 years after finding out her mother left after her birth, she continues to search for her to this day. However, she states that she never let the search control her, unlike Blake, who was completely obsessed with the investigation with Roman and the White Fang. So, although this may not be in the traditional anime-styled art that you're used to, it shouldn't be a factor that really comes into play, since the story and characters should hold your attention more than the art, if the animation is truly why you're not watching this. Another thing is that if you're a fan of Rooster Teeth, then you'll be sure to recognize the Easter eggs and other references that are thrown into this show. It goes anywhere from Red vs. Blue to other productions that they've done as a company.
I think he was some sort of cat, actually.
What, like a puma?
Yeah.
Like a big cat of some kind. What, like a puma? Yeah, man, there you go.
Obviously, one of the biggest reasons this anime is popular and well known are because of its amazingly well choreographed fight scenes. They're all just so well put together and pleasing to the eye with how fluent and smooth they look.